go into English. Oh my goodness, the languages have
Givanze.
started to mix it up.
Givanze.
All right, my people, let's move into English right away. All right, my people, we are back, and we are back with Mr. Gatebuke, and Constance is still in the studio. We're going to bring her back in a few minutes as well. Mr. Gatebuke, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
Survivors Uncensored.
Okay, I have been.
Yo, you know how I support it. Oh.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So,
Yeah.
thank you so much for everything that you have been doing, and thank you for being mobilized with for Onana. I want people to see your book as well. Let me show it. Survivors Uncensored, and
Thank you.
it's in English, not just in English, but also there's also a French version as well. So if people don't read English, they can read in French. And today we have, as you can see, the authors, Claude Gatebuke and Constance Mutimukeye. We are here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And there's 6 more. Big shout out to the other co-authors.
Absolutely. There's 6 more. Yes.
Gala Patrick, Delphine Andamutso, Oscar Nyangoga, Eugenie Gentil, Eric Ngoga. Big shout out, and big shout out to all the contributors. Over 100 testimonies. So
over 100 testimonies. This is such a huge, monumental book, so significant, like such a reference book that anybody now can say, hey, go read. And then ultimately, each and every one of them can expand on their own story, So I really appreciate you guys doing this. It's a lot of work, but you did it. And you'll continue to do it. Actually, when is part 2 coming?
Part 2, that's TBD, like they say in English, to be determined. But there's definitely a lot of interest in part 2, or a continuation anyway of this work, and we are definitely committed to making sure the truth is out there, the truth is spoken, the truth is boldly spoken, the truth is spoken uncensored, and the truth is spoken as the naked truth, with nothing, no sugarcoating, no beating around the bush, and like they say, 10 toes down, 100% commitment, 10 toes down.
Yes. So, were you surprised to see the Kagamistan and its proxies going after Onana, or like what is this?
No. Are we allowed to curse?
No,
I guess I can say politely and say, heck no. I was not surprised that they went after Onana, because they say that there are three what are they called, 3 steps of the truth, or 3 phases of the truth, and those 3 phases of the truth are, first it's ridiculed, then it's violently opposed, and then it is accepted as self-evident. If we think back at times when, for example, apartheid South Africa was fashionable, I mean, whenever anybody spoke against it, it was opposed, it was ridiculed, then it was violently opposed, then it was accepted as as self-evident. But guess what? The same people today who ridicule the truth, the same people today who violently oppose the truth, the same people who are doing all of this, tomorrow they will pretend that, oh yeah, I was done with that to begin with. I was all good with it. I was cool with it. Today it's really hard to find anybody that will say, oh, I was okay with apartheid.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find people who say, "Oh, I was okay with, for whites only and for blacks only." It's like everybody now is like, "Oh, no, 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 no. They would, that was wrong." But guess what? Today, I mean, there's too many people that behave the same way those people behaved. When you look at what's happening today, they see the truth, they don't spread the truth. They see the truth, they ignore the truth. They see the truth, and they want to beat around the bush on the truth. They want to sugarcoat the truth. They want to create some amount of comfort and convenience around the truth, especially when the truth is inconvenient. And so those same people, years from now, they will pretend that, oh yeah, no, 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 that I was always done with it. And today, what is happening to Onana is phase two. It's the truth is being violently opposed. The truth is being violently opposed. And what is happening is that because what the work that he does is exposing the atrocities committed by the Rwandan regime, by Paul Kagame, and we have to really say these names so that the world knows and understands and knows who are the new Hitlers of Africa. Um, and who are their supporters. Because he exposes Paul Kagame and he exposes his Western supporters. I see some of them. I see Bill Clinton in this picture. And I think, yeah, that's Tony Blair. The one to the left and the one to the right is Bill Clinton. And he has many other Western supporters who are okay with the shedding of the blood of millions of people in Africa. Because guess what? To them, Black lives don't matter. And when it comes to such people, they don't want that truth to be out there because once that truth is told, they are exposed. Yes, this the book that you're that the recent book that he wrote, the Holocaust in Congo, and the silence, the complicity, the international community's complicity in it, is the reason why he's being pursued, and that is a big effort to silence him. But it's not just to silence him. A lot of times the way that these things are done, they look for somebody to use as an example. They want to set an example. So they're going after him to make him an example. Um, go after him so that the rest of us can be silent, so that you and I talk show do not talk about the Kagamistan. Do not talk about the atrocities committed by Paul Kagame. Do not talk about his puppet masters, the U.S., the U.K., France, and other Western puppeteers. That you do not talk about his associates. That you do not talk about the what the type of havoc he's wreaking in the region. And so this work that they're doing right now is just a it's an effort. It's a desperation measure to try to silence the truth, which is impossible. It's not going to happen. They might as well, right now what they're doing is they're just practicing, because there is no way they will ever figure out or find a way to shut down the truth, because those of us who are committed to truth and justice and lasting peace will never back down from speaking that truth, from spreading that truth, in spite of what they do, in spite of these lawsuits. It doesn't matter how many they bring. And if they bring him to whoever they bring him to, including me, so be it. We will face it and we will fight it, because at the end of the day, what we are fighting for and what we are exposing and putting out there is to ensure that people's lives are preserved. And it would be a horrible betrayal. And it is a horrible betrayal for anybody to know this and not actually put it out there and not spread it. And those who try their best to every method is used to silence somebody. They're trying this. I think it's going to be a complete and total failure. What is going to actually happen in court? I think that the judges are going to laugh them out of court. They're going to tell them, get the black out of here. And and don't you ever, like Smokey said in that film, don't you ever bring such a frivolous and nonsensical case into this court. As we were said in the French emission, I actually think they might pull out before it actually happens because they have lost before it happens. And then they might also try to make it like a closed door trial. And I hope they're not able to pull that off. It needs to be public, it needs to be shown. And this is always my advice to anybody that is having to deal with these murderous regimes and their accomplices. No matter where they have these court cases, always ask for a public case. It's a major mistake to allow them to to make it a closed doors process. And and make sure that when you come out there, as you speak, you expose the atrocities of this of the people that are actually coming to sue you. You have to speak it. You have to speak it. You have to take a page out of Mandela's book in the trial. I don't know if for those who read the book, A Long Walk to Freedom, when he went to trial, he was like, wait, this is not about defending myself. Let me tell you the story of apartheid. This is how we need to do it. This is how it needs to be done. And those of us who stand for the truth and stand for justice, we must continue to raise our voices. We must continue to show up and show out. And so, a big shout out to everybody that's in France and everybody that's in Europe and everybody that's traveling to Europe that is going to that trial, that is going to feel the audience of that trial. Pack it up, pack the place up, make it packed. But don't forget that also part of what they're doing now is to try to, of course, to hurt Onana and the truth tellers financially. So make sure you see the PayPal that is moving at the bottom of your screen and the bank account. Make sure you make a contribution. Make sure that we are able to contribute thousands and thousands of dollars to make sure that this travesty is a major failure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Claude. On that note, we're going to go move into Kinyarwanda and bring back Constance, and then we're going to go just for 30 minutes in Kinyarwanda since my time in this studio is expiring. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we will cut the French on its own, the English on its own, and the Kinyarwanda on its own. Thank you so much. Let's keep making noise for Congo and for Onana. We are all with Onana. These are his bank accounts directly and his PayPal directly. Anybody want to support him? That's how you support him. All right, my people. Let's move into Kinyarwanda. My people, tugere mu Kinyarwanda.